How long did Anne Boleyn remain conscious after beheading? Did Anne Boleyn have a final moment of awareness after the sword fell? Eyewitnesses in 1536 claimed her eyes moved. Later generations whispered that she blinked. Modern science says the truth is less dramatic, and honestly, more unsettling. Let's go straight into what happened, what's possible, and why this question still matters. First, the moment England lost a queen. On May 19, 1536, Anne Boleyn was executed inside the Tower of London. She was 35 years old, Queen of England for less than 3 years, and the mother of the future Elizabeth I. Her downfall was political, not moral. Anne had failed to produce a male heir. Henry VIII wanted out of the marriage. Charges of adultery, incest, and treason were constructed with alarming speed. A show trial followed. Conviction was guaranteed, execution was inevitable. Why Anne's execution was unusual. Henry VIII ordered a French swordsman from Calais instead of using England's standard executioner with an axe. This choice mattered. A sword required precision and training. When done correctly, it severed the neck in a single, clean strike. Axes were notoriously unreliable, sometimes requiring multiple blows. Henry wanted the execution to look merciful, swift, controlled, and dignified. Anne knelt, spoke calmly, and placed her faith in God. The swordsman struck from behind. One motion, no warning. Her head was removed instantly. But death is not always instantaneous in the brain. So what actually happens after beheading? The key issue is blood flow. When the neck is severed, blood pressure to the brain collapses immediately. Oxygen delivery stops. But the brain does not shut down at the exact moment circulation ends. Modern neuroscience, drawing from studies of cardiac arrest, sudden blood loss, and traumatic injury, suggests the brain can remain active for a short window after oxygen deprivation begins. Most estimates fall between 5 and 10 seconds of possible awareness. That does not mean pain, it does not mean coherent thought. It means the brain may still register sensation before consciousness fades. For Anne Boleyn, that window, if it existed at all, would have been extremely brief. What witnesses reported, and what it really means. Several observers claimed Anne's eyes blinked or her lips moved after the execution. To 16th century minds, this was terrifying. It suggested awareness, or worse, a soul not yet departed. Today, we understand the body better. After death, nerves can fire without conscious control. Facial muscles can twitch. Reflexive movements do not require awareness or sensation. These motions look deliberate, but they aren't. So while witnesses likely saw movement, there is no reliable evidence Anne was thinking, feeling pain, or understanding what had happened. This wasn't the only time people asked this question. Anne Boleyn's execution fits into a long historical pattern. In 1793, Charlotte Corday, executed by guillotine during the French Revolution, became the center of controversy when witnesses claimed her face changed expression after death. The incident sparked debates across Europe about awareness after decapitation. In the early 20th century, French physicians observed guillotine executions and attempted rudimentary experiments, calling names, watching eye movement. Their conclusions were restrained but consistent. Any responsiveness lasted only seconds. Even in Tudor England, Mary, Queen of Scots, raised similar fears when her execution in 1587 required multiple axe blows. While there's no credible claim of post-decapitation awareness, the brutality really reinforced public anxiety about what execution actually meant. Anne's execution is still discussed because of 3 factors. First, the sword. A clean severing produces a faster drop in cerebral blood pressure than a jagged axe strike. Second, the witnesses. Her death was observed by nobles who recorded events carefully, not by an anonymous crowd. Third, the consequences. Anne's execution reshaped English history, clearing the path for Henry's third marriage and securing the future reign of Elizabeth I. Her death was not just punishment, it was political strategy. So what does science actually support today? There is, honestly, no credible evidence that Anne Boleyn experienced prolonged consciousness. The most plausible conclusion is this: Anne may have experienced just a fleeting moment, seconds at most, of fading awareness, followed by rapid unconsciousness as oxygen deprivation shut down brain function. No lingering agony, no extended terror, just a sudden end. Understanding this doesn't, soften her fate. It grounds it in reality. So, why does this still matter now? Well, it's because the echoes of these events continue to shape our world today, influencing the way we think, live, and interact with each other. Understanding this history, honestly, helps us make sense of the present and maybe even guides us towards a better future. It forces us to confront how power disguises violence. Anne Boleyn's execution was framed as lawful justice. In truth, it was the removal of an inconvenient queen. By examining what she may have experienced, we strip away romantic myths and face the human cost of political decisions. History isn't just about outcomes, it's about bodies, fear, and irreversible moments. And that lesson still applies today. If this changed how you see Tudor justice, like the video, subscribe for serious history without the legends, and watch the next episode exploring how Anne Boleyn's death transformed the English monarchy forever. Because history doesn't end with the execution, that's where the consequences begin.